Good afternoon. Welcome to the Capitol Center. This afternoon, Ohio Northern in town to take on the Comets, trying to snap this losing streak. Jimmy Bloomfield and Jonathan Brown with you today. It's the Play for K game. We'll have more on that later, but you might notice some pink tint to the Capitol uniforms today, and both teams have special warm-ups for today's game, and more on that as well. Obviously, breast cancer awareness game for us today, so maybe that brings a little bit of extra from both teams here. Jonathan, a disappointing result on Wednesday night, dropping the game to Wilmington, and Capitol now kind of doing some soul searching here as we get to the last 4 or 5 games of the year, trying to get in place for that tournament. And it looked like Capitol had that inside track to the 3 seed as we talked about last game, and this losing streak has kind of changed the script now. It's kind of more about getting this team right and getting back in the direction of playing good basketball that they were playing earlier in the conference season.
Yeah, and that earlier in that week they lost to Wilmington. It was a close match. 50-59 was the final score with that one. However, we saw that the Big Three was unable to get going in that matchup, and our Big Three is Perkins, O'Connor, and Murphy. They weren't in sync, and when one had stopped, the whole team kind of phased and moved along with that one player here. So hopefully today the ladies can form as a team here, and when their star player goes down and isn't hitting the ball, somebody else has to step up, just play more cohesive, more team ball per se.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup today. Ohio Northern also kind of has their own Big Three, if you will, with the headline of that being Bryn Serbin, the senior guard. She's second in the conference in scoring. She's up to 14.8 per game in conference games. O'Connor's at 17, so it is actually kind of narrowing between the two here. And we've seen some struggles out of O'Connor lately. So kind of a individual matchup to take a look at today with Serbin and O'Connor. Very easily could be one of those games where you see them kind of push each other to perform. And outside of that, both teams have 3 players in the top 13 in scoring. Murphy is 13th, Perkins is 7th. This is just conference games, but they're also both in the top 13 for overall games. But I like looking at just the conference games because you have a better sample of the same opponents. So Perkins is 7th at 11.8 per game in conference games. Murphy's 11.1. On the other side, Brooke Allen, their center, 11.3 per game. Kristen Luersman, 11.2 per game. So both teams kind of have this 3-headed attack, and the difference being that Ohio Northern may have a little bit more help around them. If you take a look at the team stats, number 1 in offense in points per game in conference games, number 1 in defense in points per game in conference games. And it's very tough to find a weakness on this squad.
Yeah, it's very tough to find a weakness on a squad who is coming here and shown their dominance this whole entire season. They are number 1 in OAC conference play, only suffering a loss to Marietta. So let that be clear, but this is the OAC. You never know what can happen here in these kind of matchups here, but they have been a dominant team moving forward. Like I said, only suffering 1 loss to Marietta in that matchup. And the last time Capitol played, like you said, due to those free throws and the opportunities, final score was 57-48. And, I mean, when you take a look on how they played at that time, we were on the road here. Nobody really was explosive on our offensive end. However, if you take a look at Ohio Northern, they had Brooke Allen, who went off with 10 points, as well as Layla Dials, who had 12 points off the bench. So they played more cohesive, and they were able to get the job done. More free throw opportunities. Well, Capitol had more free throw opportunities. And
that was the only thing that kept it. I mean, they lost by 18 or 16, but to say it was even a game, they had 16 free throws. They made 11 shots. The stats are ugly. First quarter, they shot 1 for 13. The third quarter, they shot 1 for 11. The second quarter, they were 3 for 15. So they had 3 quarters at 20% or lower, 2 below 10%, and they ended up shooting 20% for the game. Ohio Northern wasn't much more impressive, 35% from the field, but they did make 8 threes in the game, and that was probably the biggest difference. And several things jump out at me when we look at this first matchup. The first is O'Connor and Serbin. I just mentioned the 2 leading scorers in the conference and could kind of push each other. They both played terrible in the first game. O'Connor had 6 points. She shot 2 of 12 in 35 minutes on the floor. Serbin shot 1 for 11, including 1 of 8 from 3. She had 5 points in the game, and that was it. So the 2 leading scorers in the OAC in this first matchup combined for 11 points. So I think there is a little bit of a personal rivalry maybe brewing there in terms of both of them want to have a much better showing this matchup.
Yeah, that was the first matchup in the season. We'll see how both teams have adjusted. That's what we talked about, just the adjustments that teams have to make this late in the season because you're playing the same opponent twice. You're just flipping court advantage here, and hopefully Capital, they've been slipping here at home, but they do better at home than they do on the road, so hopefully they can pull off here with a victory today.
I did want to go back to the preseason poll just to kind of do a assessment of where the team is compared to where they were. This team, Capital, I think they had 2 conference wins last year. They beat their win mark from last year in December of this year. So obviously overperforming where they were supposed to be. Again, they were ranked 8th in the preseason coaches poll of the projected standings. And here we are, way more wins, I think, than anybody would have anticipated. And it's kind of put a bigger spotlight on this team. And now the losing streak is coming, so it kind of begs the question, are we regressing to where we should have been, or is this just a slump? And I think some of those questions will be answered today. On the other side, Ohio Northern was projected to finish 4th in this conference, which was surprising to me. Marietta was projected to win the conference, which wasn't much of a surprise to me. And Capital beat that team. Baldwin Wallace was projected to finish 2nd, and Otterbein was projected to finish 3rd. So if you take a look at the preseason poll, Capital has wins over the teams projected 1, 3, and 4. But didn't have the wins against Ohio Northern and Baldwin Wallace that first time through. And I think I don't know what my point is on that. I'm just kind of presenting the information, but it seems like the expectation levels of these coaches around the conference were a little bit off this year. Usually you see that poll, especially the teams at the top. Usually it's pretty interchangeable at the top, but it's right. I think there's a lot of misses in terms of who's the tough opponents, and it shows you that there's a lot more parity in this league than they probably expected going in. And I don't know why they missed on Ohio Northern, because this has been a team that has been good. They've made NCAA runs in recent years. They've had All-Americans on this team in recent years. And while those players are gone, the system and the coaching staff is still in place. And maybe they took a little bit of a slight being ranked the 4th team. They got no first-place votes in that preseason poll. And if you give me a pick of them or Baldwin Wallace, I'm taking them right now. They've been the more impressive team in OAC play. So I don't know. I guess my question for you there would be, why the miss? Why do you think that they ranked Ohio Northern so low in that preseason poll?
I never do like those board polls because most of them are just executives just making money.
This is coaches.
Still, sometimes judgment is off. This is a head coach, Mark Hulsman, in his 3rd year, and you already talked the experience of what he has here. He's facing the first-year head coach right here, and Coach McPherson. But if you want to talk about the poll as well, McPherson has come in here and has turned a program who was slumped last year into a winning program in here. So right now we're in
She's probably the coach of the year, honestly, with where Capital was supposed to be. Obviously, I think she needs a few more wins to close it out. She can't finish 7th or 8th in the standings and win that. But
with a win today,
it certainly changes the narrative a lot. And if you asked 2.5 weeks ago, she was probably easily the front runner for coach of the year. And it's been kind of a bad slump here. So here's my last take before we got 2 minutes before the game starts up here and the starting lineups are announced and everything. We were going back to the pregame yesterday. Last game we were talking about other players kind of stepping up, helping these big 3. I think today it's the opposite. I think today it's a Murphy day to start things off, and she's the key. If you can get her going, it opens up everything else. They have to respect the outside shot. That's when O'Connor can start cooking. So I'm calling those 2 out today. I think your stars got to come to play today. Someone's got to stop this streak. Someone's got to have a big game. And I think Murphy's 3-point shooting is what opens everything up. That's just my take. What do you got for today?
We'll just see. I like those odd takes that you got right there. But in order for Capital to get the job done here, they have to control the narrative on the offensive side here. They're going to put up shots as a team. They're not afraid of putting the ball up. They do a good job of scoring here as a team. They average 60 points per game. However, they need to put up more volume and good selective shots here. And they've done a good job on the defensive end, but if they come out complacent, then Ohio Northern's going to take their advantage here.
First 5 minutes will be huge as well. Going back to that Marietta game, we came out hot that game. and really built an early lead that just kind of hung on to it. There's been so many games this year, and Wednesday was a great example. Played a terrible first quarter, put yourself in a hole the entire night, and it's tough to climb out of that. So I guess we'll see how the first few minutes of focus start in this one. Wednesday night, we started the game with 5 consecutive turnovers to start our offensive sequence. We only scored 4 points against Ohio Northern in the first quarter matchup in the first game. So we'll see if we can change that today. Our national anthem's coming up. We'll have our starting lineups, and we will get basketball for you here at the Capitol Center. All right, welcome back to the Capitol Center. Good afternoon, and we've got basketball action for you. Ohio Northern in town. They're nationally ranked, number 13 in the country, and a chance for Capitol to knock off a top 25 team here. We don't get those too often at the Capitol Center, so we'll see if tonight is a special day or not. I might keep saying tonight as well, but it is 2 in the afternoon. Let's start with the starters for Ohio Northern. First, it's their senior point guard leader out of Pittsburgh, PA, 5'5", guard Bryn Serbin. Out of Ottoville, Ohio, the 5'7" senior guard Casey Knippen. Number 13, the 5'7" sophomore guard out of Lahaina, Hawaii, that's Abby Akimene. And 2 starters in the front court, the 5'10" junior forward out of Fort Jennings, Ohio, Kristen Lursman, and the 6'1" sophomore center out of Woodville, Ohio, Brooke Allen. Mark Hulsman in his 3rd year leads the team. Again, it's Serbin, Knippen, Akimene, Lursman, and Allen for the Polar Bears. For Capitol in their special home pink uniforms today for the Play for a K game, they'll send out their usual starting 5. That's sophomore 5'8" guard out of Fredericksburg, Ohio, Lainey Murphy. 5'4" senior guard out of Plain City, Ohio, Demi Brewer. And the 5'8" sophomore guard out of Hilliard, Ohio, Bree O'Connor. In the front court, 5'9", we'll call our forward, freshman out of Pittsburgh, PA, Samari Perkins. And the 6 foot, listed as a guard, but mainly a center with her blocking ability this year, Maddie Weiland. She's out of Beaver, PA. So again, it's Murphy, Brewer, O'Connor, Perkins, and Weiland. And it'll be head coach, Coach McPherson's first official matchup here at home against the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Again, she was the interim coach last year for the Comets. So we got pink and black on the court today.
I like it.
Yeah. And we're getting ready for some action here. Perkins and Lursman to do the tip, and Perkins wins it to Weiland, and we're underway here at the Capitol Center. Bree O'Connor has the first possession for the Comets. Screen from Perkins, passes off Murphy. Drives into the lane, tough finish, no good. Kind of try to float her there from the edge of the paint, and the rebound collected by Knippen, who gets it off to Bryn Serbin, that is. Serbin is the 2nd leading scorer in the OAC, number 3 on the other side. Open shot for Lursman from outside, and she knocks it down. So a stop for the Polar Bears and a 3-ball to start off their afternoon, and they lead 3-0, 30 seconds in.
Lursman shoots 29%. Be careful for this team. We've seen they shoot 32% from behind the arc.
Number 1 offense, number 1 defense in the OAC. And they've shown that on the first first possession for each side. Perkins with the long 2, and that's kind of been her spot lately. She gets the scoring started for the Comets. Really stepping up in conference play. She's now 7th in the conference in points per game. Pass goes inside to Allen. Allen, post-to-post finish, and Luersman has 5 of Ohio Northern's 5. It's 5-2. O'Connor skips across the front court now into the left wing for Brewer. Bounce pass to Perkins. Double team. Weiland steps back into a 2. No good. O'Connor got a hand on it and collects. Fresh 20 for the Comets on the shot clock. O'Connor fakes a pass. Goes up for the shot. No good. Tipped out to Weiland, who struggles with it and couldn't cleanly get it there. Now Serbin comes away with the rebound. I believe she'll just get credit for a rebound and not a steal there. Wasn't ever cleanly received by Weiland.
That's one she's going to want to have back. Just
collect it, yeah. Fake pass and now a drive from Knippen. Kicks out. Serbin for 3. No good. She struggled in the first meeting. 1 for 8 from 3. And struggling again to start with the miss on her first attempt. Now here's Murphy with it. Fakes a pass to the left. Goes to the right. Brewer thought about the pass. Now drives baseline and got fouled under the basket by the sophomore guard out of, again, Lahaina, Hawaii. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this high school, but Abby Akamine picks up the first foul.
I went to Hawaii.
Yeah?
Yeah, Maui.
Yeah.
Yeah, did the road to Honolulu. That is Honolulu, too. Nice. Beautiful.
Imagine coming here after there. Pass goes into O'Connor. Substitution was made for Ohio Northern as they brought in Layla Dials after the foul was picked up. Weiland throws up a miss and then puts her head in her hands after the miss.
She's going to shake it off.
Pass now down low to Allen from Serbin. That was an interesting pass. It looked like Serbin almost lost possession of it, but was actually just steering the bounce pass to Allen. And Ohio Northern has come out firing. 7 points already. 3 of their first 4 possessions have ended in points. Weiland gives it to O'Connor. Back to Perkins. Perkins swings it to the left to O'Connor, or to Demi Brewer, and gives it off to Perkins now. Taken away by Serbin. Serbin driving, sizing up on Brewer. Bounce pass to Dials. Throws it away, and O'Connor with good anticipation of the pass is able to collect. 3-on-3 the other way for the Comets. Murphy trying to drive. Steps back, resets to Brewer. 22 on the shot clock, plenty of time to work with here. Murphy, guarded by Luersman, drives past her. Actually, that is Knippen on her. And now O'Connor gets the pass, skates into the lane, and gets the finish.
Good strong finish right there.
7-4. Going to be a lot of tough physical baskets down low here for Capital. If they want them, they're going to have to earn them. Dials passes off to Luersman. Luersman now to Serbin. Looking at Allen inside. Will come back outside to Dials. Dials drives to the elbow and then jumped up and down. Yeah, she didn't get the pass or shot off, whatever that was, before she landed. Grace Dean and Jada Benjamin check in next for Ohio Northern, and they'll give breaks to Knippen and Allen came off.
Capital sticking with their rotation, knowing Coach McPherson runs a tight rotation.
Yep, it's a very tight. It's tightened up over the last few weeks. And this is the group that Capital wants to take them as far as they can take them. Perkins long 2.
Splash.
Money.
Like that.
O'Connor and Perkins linking up. And it's 7-6, a quick 4-0 run for the Comets to get back within 1. Here's Serbin now. Going to work. Getting a screen from Luersman, who rolls to the basket, comes back out for it now. Faces a double team. Brewer got a hand on the ball. Now Serbin gets the pass. Dials has it now. Dials skip pass, throws it to the Capital bench.
There's a turnover right there.
Ronnie Thigpen first off the bench tonight for the Comets. She replaces Weiland. Be interesting to see what we did with the bench unit here. We saw Duguid get involved last game, more than she had been in recent games. Didn't hear a lot from Horsley on the floor. And Allie Ray obviously working her way back into the rotation after she was injured earlier this season. So kind of a little bit of a question mark in terms of what kind of units we'll see in the second and maybe even the third quarters of this game. O'Connor step back 3.
Blast.
It's good. She's got 5.
And that's what we need to see from her. When
Yeah.
she gets going, it's hard to stop her.
They need a game where Bree can kind of take things over, and she's already got 5, as we mentioned. 7-0 run for the Comets in the last 2-10. Serving to answer, no good. Rebound, kind of a lucky bounce. It went right to Dean, no chance. She was boxed out, but it was such a high rebound. Capital had no chance, and now Serving gets the easy lay-in past Murphy. Well, sometimes the offensive rebound is your fault, lack of effort, lack of positioning. That one, just an unfortunate bounce off the rim, went right to Dean, and then Serving gets an easy layup. 9-9 our score, 4.5 minutes in. All things considered, a good start for the Comets. And they have taken care of the basketball. They have 2 turnovers, but given their average of 17 a night, this isn't a bad start for them at all. They're getting shots up at least.
No, they're doing a good job of protecting the ball. We know that sometimes they are their worst enemies when it comes to holding the ball, but they're doing a good job defensively.
Servin 0 for 3 from outside. Now she's 1 for 11 this season against the Comets. Again, the second leading scorer in the conference. O'Connor now has it for the Comets. Pass goes outside to Murphy. Gets the screen. Take it. 3 ball. It's
Flash.
good. There it is. And if that's working this afternoon, it's a whole new dimension to this offense.
I don't want to call it vintage, but it's just you don't see that as often this season. But good to see it as always, like a ray of sunshine.
12-9 our score. Comets with their first lead since the 34-second mark. Actually, no, this is their first lead of the game. My mistake. 12-9 our score. Servin, guarded by Thigpen. Good defense. 3 ball from Benjamin. Misses everything. That's a violation there, yep. All right, some subs again. So we have Weiland coming back in and Horsley checking it in. Murphy comes out as well as Perkins. So this will be a big unit now with O'Connor and the other 2 of the big 3 that we've been calling them on the bench. And for Ohio Northern, Allen back into the game. Servin's still out there.
So is O'Connor.
Those 2 are 1 and 2 in the conference, and ours is off to a good start. And Servin is 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting. O'Connor gets the screen from Weiland. Kick back out. Extra pass, Thigpen trying to find Horsley from 3. She was guarded. She drives in. Horsley with the tough finish. No good. And the rebound collected under the basket there by Peyton Warnicki, who just checked in as well. Servin will bring it up the floor now. And a miss underneath the basket from Allen. Rebounded by Weiland. And Brewer starts it the other way now. Brewer gives it off to Horsley. Horsley to Thigpen. Now O'Connor has it. O'Connor, good cut by Weiland.
That was a good cut right there.
Right through the paint, and Weiland puts Cap up by 5, their largest lead of the afternoon. Just assume it's nighttime. Servin, go
better
ahead.
ball vision from O'Connor to see the teammate making that cut.
Pass inside now over the head of Allen.
After a momentum swinging.
Ray comes on for the Comets for the first time, and Perkins and Murphy right back onto the floor. O'Connor getting a rare break. Brewer and Thigpen come off as well. Allie Ray, kind of the X factor right now these last few games. She was in the rotation for the Comets. She got injured. She's a transfer as well, and her first year with the team. And maybe she can kind of be this leader of the second unit, if you will. Weiland from outside. It's good. 17-9. Comets ahead by 8.
They are 3 from 4 from behind the arc to start things off here. Got the hot hand.
Weiland's got 5 now. She's made the last 2 buckets. Kick out pass. This is an Ohio Northern team not used to being down by 8 very often. Benjamin for 3, no good. And Weiland gets the rebound. 5 points, 4 rebounds for Weiland. Also chasing down a season record for blocks. Doesn't have any in this one yet. Murphy drives into the paint. Looked like she got fouled, and they call a charge instead. Good.
That was a late call.
It came from the official at the top of your screen too, not the one from under the basket. I don't know about that one.
That was questionable right there, very late, but
First foul for the Comets in the game, so neither team in any kind of foul trouble. Akamine has one and Murphy has one, and that's it. Perkins guarding Allen. Now Serbin kicks out. Benjamin, 3. It's good. Finally got one to go down from outside. They're 2 for 7 from 3. They were 1 for their last 6 from outside, and that breaks a 4-minute scoreless drought for the Polar Bears.
Benjamin shoots 35% from behind the arc, so Horsley tried to close that just a little too late.
Horsley passes inside to Perkins. Cap can basically hold for the last shot here. Perkins will get fouled instead.
That's a good thing, earning at the strike. Perkins is a good free throw shooter in the season. Pretty solid, 69%.
Cap shooting 53% here in the first quarter. It's obviously not going to keep up, but a great start to the game. Perkins from the free throw line misses the first.
Straddle in and out. That's cool. We can split the strike. 50-50, 50-cent store.
Perkins takes a long look at the basket this time. And Weiland moved early. So no attempt.
All right.
And cool. A violation on Weiland, who seems to be a little amped up in this one. We've seen her make the 3 and make some plays, but also could struggle with that rebound a little bit earlier. Struggles with the free throw violation that time. And kind of needs to find herself maybe a little bit. Benjamin's trying to drive on her. That's a bad idea. Serve and kick out. 3, bank, no good. Dials got it off, but it was very close to the buzzer and probably didn't get the best grip on the ball that she was looking for. And so the quarter ends with a 17-12 advantage for the Comets, leading nationally ranked Ohio Northern at the break. We'll be right back for quarter number 2. All right, quarter number 2 about ready to get underway here. 17-12 our score. Polar Bears will start with it first here, and let's see what they can bring to the table here in quarter number 2, and it starts with an offensive foul on Akamine. She had the only foul in the first quarter, and she picks up the foul here in this one. So now 2 for Akamine.
Alberto maintaining a 5-point lead here, so.
And they, just got a gift of a turnover there on the offensive foul. 5 turnovers for Ohio Northern, 3 for the Comets, so +2 in the turnover department.
See if they can make something out of it. Big body bends down.
Perkins, bodying her way. And Grace Dean was unimpressed.
Hey, I like the ferocity though. She ain't afraid.
It's tough for Perkins. She's undersized in terms of height, at least. In pretty much every matchup, she's the 5 for the Comets. I don't know if we have a 6-footer on the recruit list, but we need
Splash.
one. There's a 3 ball from O'Connor. Meanwhile, Bree's getting going. She's got 8.
This team is figuring out something from behind the arc.
And now some full court pressure here. The Polar Bears handle it well. And nice again post-to-post passing there with Lersman to Dean for the finish. 2014 our score.
Typically, we're just a 30% three-point shooting team, and we've got the hot hand here, and
tough pass. Worth it, I think. That one was a little bit of a riskier pass, but Brewer couldn't come up with it. Dials checks back in for the Polar Bears, so 1 starter hits the bench already for Ohio Northern. And more full court pressure here from the Comets.
Yeah, they're bringing pressure here.
We're trying to tempo this thing up, which I like. Muddy it up a little bit. Pass goes to Lersman. Lersman faces a trap coming, and she turns it over, and O'Connor's might have an easy bucket here. goes to the paint and lays it
we like
in.
that double clutch right there. But I like this intensity here because you know you're playing the #1 team in the conference here, and you can't let them get comfortable.
So, yeah, they brought up the tempo here to start the quarter, bringing that full court pressure. They get a free bucket out of it with O'Connor now having 10 points already for the Comets. She has 10 of the 22. Dials, tough finish, no good. Perkins grabs the rebound.
Good fight for the ball right there.
Comets in control right now, up by 8, and playing the game that they want to play here. Brewer gives it off to Perkins. Weiland, why not? It's
Flash.
good!
That was nothing but net.
They can't miss now from outside. 5 of 6 from 3. 25-14.
Why would they leave her on a
foul
private
on Brewer.
island?
Good.
I said, why would they leave her on a private island?
Yeah, I don't know. Weiland's kind of had a weird day already. Again, some kind of mental mistakes, I guess if you want to call them that. The mental one at the free throw line for sure. Couldn't grab that one rebound, and it's kind of been a little bit weird, but she has 8 points also. Has made really good cut, knocked down 2 threes, so we'll take it. Trying to keep that high intensity going. Perkins! Oh, they're going to get her in the
Late
foul. That heard like I feel like I heard the arm there.
I heard more ball.
Did you?
Selective hearing. Cool.
You normally can't really tell the difference up here if it's skin or ball, but it sounded like a nice little slap.
Well, Dixon is at the free throw line, and she's 100% on the season because she's only had 1 attempt, so still perfect.
Dixon, a sophomore out of Germantown, Ohio. She gets the second as well. It's Dixon, Dials, Dean, Lursman, and Knippen on the floor. So Serbin not in there right now for the Comets, and they're taking advantage of that. Brewer drives baseline past the Perkins and telegraphed that one right to Dean. Dean's had a nice defensive game in this one. Might have been Lursman actually on that steal. The 2 players down low have played well defensively. Kick out to Knippen, and she walks into an 8-footer. Tough shot. She got it to go down.
Right over top of 2 defenders right there.
It'll be O'Connor now with it. O'Connor is fouled now by Dials.
It's only Ohio Northern second team foul.
That's her first 2, but she kind of plays the same position as Akamine, so that might be testing the depth a little bit of this team. They've already played 10 players in this one, though. All have played at least 3 minutes. 3-ball Weiland. It's good again.
She is going crazy.
That's 11 for Maddie already in this one.
That's 3 from 4 from behind the arc.
2 Comets in double figures here. It's only been 13 minutes of game time. Foul called on Murphy. And a good finish from Dixon, who will head right back to the line. Try to stay perfect on the season.
This is Murphy's second foul.
That's a problem. She'll probably have to come off. Although McPherson has kind of let players play with more fouls than you typically see.
Well, she's having a good game so far, so.
Just got to tell her to be careful and not pick up the third. That's what really kills you. 2 more subs getting ready for Ohio Northern. Warnicki and Serbin will make the move back into the game. Murphy from O'Connor. No good. Missed everything.
All right.
That was a heck of a pass from O'Connor to the corner, from the right corner to the left wing.
Phenomenal pass.
Yeah. And Murphy just couldn't get the shot to go. It was a deep 3. She was not exactly towing the line there. All right, more full court pressure coming from the Comets. They need to make some more shots, Jonathan, so they can set up this full court pressure.
I like it. You have to keep – this is a top dog team. You have to keep them on their toes.
Pass inside to Allen. Brewer tried to help out, and just too much size there from Brooke Allen.
If that becomes a situation, you're going to have to get double and help Perkins down low, but let's see. They're maintaining onto their lead.
Murphy gets the screen from Perkins, gives it back to Perkins. And Perkins has a mismatch of her own here, and she gets fouled. So they each kind of have their own unique mismatch there.
With Perkins, she's going to be more agile. She's got that mid-range shots. With Allen, she's going to try to take it body to body down low, and she draws the foul. So both have their distinct advantages.
Cap's getting a little bit bigger here. They're going to put in Thigpen for Murphy. It'll be interesting to see if she draws the matchup with Allen instead of Perkins.
There we go.
Benefit to that, too, is Thigpen can foul, and you don't have to worry too much about her foul trouble situation as much as a player like Perkins. So maybe you get Thigpen in there and rough them up a little bit.
Splits the
Yeah,
pair.
splits the pair at the line. Rebound collected. And all these missed shots that Capitol's had lately, it doesn't allow us to set that press. So that's why getting these buckets is really important. How about this? Double, triple team down low on Allen. They kick it back out. That's like 3 carries on Knippen. Pass out Serbin, no good from 3. Allen with the offensive rebound. She's a problem. Yeah, she is a problem down low right now.
6 for her in this game already.
4 in the last minute, and I think Ohio Northern's starting to realize they have something down there. They've worked this thing back to a 4-point deficit. Cap still in the lead. Brewer gives it off to O'Connor, top of the key. O'Connor drives, goes for the kick out, step back, no good. And the rebound. Oh, she might have stepped out there. Good rebound, though, from Warnicki.
Got to take selective good shots here. You got to hold on to this lead.
Serbin, no good again. Boy, she has struggled in both matchups now. 0 for 5 from 3. She's 1 for 16 from 3. Or my math is terrible. 1 for 14 from 3 in the 2 games that they've played this season. Weiland finally getting some closeout on her after she knocked down 2. Perkins kick out to O'Connor. She's got a mismatch with Benjamin here. Thigpen will screen anyway. O'Connor shake and bake, kick out, 3-ball. Brewer.
Splash! She's got the hot hand, too.
Demi knocks it down from outside.
Everybody's hitting.
That sets up the pressure, too, and it's 32-25. The Comets are 6 of 8 from 3. Make that 7 of 9 now.
You like that team playing collectively.
4 different players have knocked down a 3-pointer for the Comets as well. Here's Serbin again. She misses again.
Those shots are going to add up now. She's got to start playing with her teammates. And
You got to get 44 involved if you're ONU right now. 3-ball from O'Connor, no good. Brewer gets the rebound, looks for some help, has her dribble, gives it to Weiland instead. O'Connor now gets the screen from Thigpen. And they're saying the shot didn't hit the rim. So they're going to conference here. If the shot clock reset there, I didn't notice, it might have. And if it did reset, then the Comets probably went past the shot clock. But they also didn't know that the shot clock's running down, so I don't think you can penalize them and say, you know, it's a turnover in this situation because the clock would have been running out. They would have obviously played that possession differently knowing the clock running down. So I think the fair thing to do here would be throw a few seconds up there, and that's pretty much what you'd have to do about this. Or go to the possession arrow. You see that sometimes too. See how they play this thing out. The shot clock still has 12 on it. Timeout's called by the Comets, so we'll sort this thing out when we come back. Full timeout. But for now, the Comets will lead 32-25, and we'll be right back. So nothing changed out of the timeout here. It's still 12 seconds on the shot clock, and it's still same game time, 3:45 and counting now. So maybe the Comets benefit from that. Thigpen gets the pass. Weiland off in time, no good off the rim, and Brewer gets the rebound. Almost lost it, but it went to Thigpen, and Cap resets again. Starting five with Thigpen in the place of Murphy right now for the Comets on the floor. Perkins, tough finish. She's fouled by Allen. And that's Allen's second. So that's another way to get her out of this game. Just put her in foul trouble.
We've acknowledged that both teams have their distinct advantages since Perkins gets to the free throw line. Allen hasn't even gone to the free throw line yet. So Perkins has had opportunities drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. Let's see if she can capitalize.
She puts 2 on Allen, so Allen is now probably done for the half. And the question now becomes, can Bryn Serbin get it going? 1 of 7, 2 points for her in 13 minutes. On the other side for the Comets, our leading scorer for the season, Bree O'Connor, 10 points on 4 of 8 shooting. And not only that, but she also has 3 assists. She's getting other people involved. And that's something that Serbin is not doing on the other side. This is her with it. Faces the double, gets it off. And now the Polar Bears will go into their set here with 17 on the shot clock. Benjamin gets a screen, gives it off to Serbin. Nice pass to Knippen for 3, and that's going to drop. So now she's starting to get her teammates involved. And that's a big hit there from Knippen to cut it to 6.
Knippen, a 27% three-point shooter, able to get it to fall.
Perkins down low, though, and they don't have an answer for her on this end either. Perkins quietly has gotten to 9 points as well. We might have 3 in double figures at the break.
It's cool. I like this back and forth matchup here.
Serbin waits for the Comets to get back on their side. Now bounce pass to Dean, no good, and they're going to call one on Perkins. So that's her second. We didn't have any foul trouble in the first, but now both teams starting to get into quite a bit of it. Cap has 2 starters with 2 fouls. The Polar Bears have 2 starters with 2 fouls. And now that'll bring in Maddie Duguid. And a chance for Maddie to kind of work her way back in this rotation even more. And she's 6'1", too, so, I mean, you got a 6-footer on the other side that's having a pretty good half. You wonder if that means Maddie might come in, steal a few minutes defensively when Allen's out on the floor.
Yeah, Dean just missed that first one on the season. She's 44% from the free throw line.
Splits him here. 7-point game, 2:30 to play. Brewer gets it over to O'Connor. O'Connor, free throw line, fakes the shot, and they'll reset. Horsley has it. Skip pass to O'Connor. Horsley into the game on that last substitution.
Flash.
O'Connor from 3 again. 8 for 12 from outside.
This team has got the hot hand today, and I'm loving it.
13 for O'Connor. Kick out. Benjamin, no good. Boy, that had some high arc to it. Brewer got the Brewer's still in the game here. I'm trying to figure out who Horsley came in for Thigpen. That would be her replacement. Weiland gets it to Duguid. Duguid gets fouled. All right, we'll take that. That is the 5th team foul as well, so Maddie will head to the free throw line for Capital.
That's on Looserman.
Benjamin comes out for Layla Dials. One more sub, too, as Abby Dixon checks in for Knippen.
Capital with a nice double-digit lead. I just love how they've come out here in the second quarter and have I like this full court pressure. You know this team is a dominant team on the offensive end here, and you have them on their toes. They can't get the ball up quickly, and they're looking to slow down Allen down low. We haven't called her name as much as we did earlier in this quarter.
And the foul trouble part of that as well. 39-29, 1:34 to play. Dials, I don't know what that was. I don't even know how to announce that. I think that was a shot. It might have been a pass.
She was not dialed in.
No. And now Brewer down low. Had just enough spin.
She's brewing something hot here. I like it.
She just kind of threw it up there, and it had just enough spin to get over the top of the rim. Not pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but it counts for 2 points. And how about this? We're up by 12 with 1:14 to play in the quarter. And this is the Capital team we knew they're capable of playing of, and that's, I think, what made those last few games so frustrating, is that this team can play with the best in this conference. We're seeing it right now.
Yeah, and they're coming out here with energy. I don't know if it was just play for K today or the jersey colors or whatever you call it, but I like this team here. And they're showing you why this team can make some damage here. When they play like this, and they're shooting well from behind the arc, so that's a key contributor, but not only that, on the defensive end as well.
So it's a 41-29 game. 12-point lead for the Comets, their largest lead of the day. They're shooting
That's a block.
57% from three and a block here down low.
Do good. Not going for anything down low. Phenomenal block. Like I said, they're doing a good job on the defensive end here.
Taking care of the basketball, shooting efficiently, and they're doing a decent job slowing down this attack. And nice defense here again, and Dean comes up lame on her ankle. They're playing down a player this possession. Brewer has Horsley wide open for three. No good. Weiland gets the rebound. Dean is still down, and they're gonna call play dead here. I don't know. I think you have to keep play going. Personally, I understand that there is an injured player on that side of the floor, but normally you keep play going until Ohio Northern would regain possession. But they whistle it dead, and it doesn't appear to be a very good injury on the. Not that there are any good injuries, but definitely a one on the bad side of the scale here for Dean. Was slow to get up. Now has some training staff helping her off the floor. She's putting pressure on her ankle, so that's a good sign. But obviously not a good injury at all. She's going to be getting some attention back there. There is kind of a little makeshift training area back there. So Dean will leave the floor, and replacing her is Lursman. Peyton Warnicki might have been the actual sub there. 33 and 32 back in there for the Polar Bears. And now the Comets keep possession. 2-for-1 opportunity. Take it. Horsley, three, no good.
Oh, it's a good shot creation for her.
It's a good shot, and you take that in that situation just to try to steal an extra possession. So a 7-second differential between game and shot clock here. Serban bounce pass off, and Dials gets it right back inside. Kick out to the top of the key. Dixon fakes left, goes right. Dials does the same move. Facing a double, tied up, and Capital's going to get the basketball.
That's a good effort right here. This energy and effort that we're seeing here from Capital is what we know that they've been capable all along here, and they're maintaining it with this strong lead here. 24
points here in the second quarter for the Comets. They've made 5 threes, and let's see if we can add one more. 10 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock's turned off. Handed off to O'Connor. 5 to shoot. O'Connor gets the screen, weaves into the lane, and she's going to the line. Foul called against Serban.
Good hustle right there. O'Connor driving to the basket. 75%.
That's 2 on Serban. Also, Jonathan, so now 3 starters with 2 fouls for the Polar Bears.
75% for O'Connor on the season from the free throw line.
Misses the first. 13 points here in the first half for Bree.
But that's a key point you pointed out. Key players for Ohio Northern now looking at foul trouble, but
picks up a foul with 2 seconds left in the quarter. 13-point lead. Serban won't take the shot. And she's got enough misses from outside. She don't want another one on the stat sheet. 42-29. How about that? The Comets have the Polar Bears on upset alert, as they call it. And Cap trying to get a top 25 win here, top 15 win really, against the Polar Bears. 15-minute break for halftime, and we'll come back with half number 2, see if the Comets can keep this up for another 20 minutes. We'll be right back.
No, it's just like it's a directional mic, and it's like pointed that way, so it's not getting a lot of the floor sounds. You guys are good.
As a result of playing for King and your participation, the KO Cancer Fund has been able to award $7.88 million toward this fight. Your support matters. Help continue to fight and donate now. Again, it's KYAO.com. To further enhance the mission of KO and get back to the game, Capitals coaches and players are hosting a free youth basketball clinic tomorrow at 10 a.m. right here in the Capitol Center. Registration is free to attend. However, donations to support the KO Cancer Fund will be accepted as well. Thank you for your support of this great cause. And go Cat.
All right, Jonathan, it is 42-29. Comets are in control. I wanted to say complete control, but trying to downplay it a little bit. But pretty much picture perfect first half. We'll see if they can keep it up here in half number 2.
Yeah, they're definitely playing their game, and this is their house, and they're defending it.
Akabine passes off. 3-ball from Lersman, no good. And it's going to stay here. Crowd doesn't like it. I didn't get a good look at it. And now the official might be overruling here from mid-court. No, doesn't look like it.
All right, it'll stay here. So be it.
One of those 50-50 calls in the corner. I think it could have gone either way. Weiland and Akamine were fighting for it. Now Akamine gets the pass in. We didn't see much of her in the first half. She played just 3 minutes with 2 fouls. Akamine, Servin, and Allen all have 3 fouls for the Polar Bears. Perkins and Murphy have 3 for the Comets. And speaking of threes, there's one from Knippen, who's still holding her arm up in the air after making that all the way down the floor. She might want to peek at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's 42-32. Cap up by 10. Knippen, for what it's worth, knocks down her second triple. She has 8. Murphy passes off to Weiland. Weiland to Brewer. And Brewer's pass got rejected right back to Weiland. Now she'll go to Murphy instead. Bank, no good. Tip out. Nice play. And Perkins gets it off the bat. Resetting the shot clock. 20 to work with now for the Comets. Murphy around the screen. Gets to Perkins. Blow by her. Oh, nice pick there by Allen. Just poked it free. She knows she can't keep up with Perkins laterally, so she did a good job of knocking the ball away. 3-ball, Knippen missed everything. I don't know if Brewer got a piece or not, and now Servin throws it away. 3-on-2 the other way for the Comets. Pull up from O'Connor. Weak pass to Murphy. They should just reset, and they will.
Oh, good job swinging the ball around here.
Now O'Connor fighting to get to a spot. Passes off to Perkins. Perkins, tip pass, and Brewer's fouled hard. Oh, she's grabbing at her leg, I think. Something wasn't right. She pops right back up, though. I think she got maybe a hip to the leg there, kind of
Little collision, that's it.
a little banged up. Murphy will pass it in. We'll get to who that foul was on in a second. I missed that. O'Connor now gets fouled by Akamine, and that's her 3rd. So she hasn't even been able to stay on the floor.
Foul trouble is going to be an issue here for
Not
Ohio
sure.
Northern.
Yeah, still not sure who picked up that first. Brewer from 3 now. No good. Perkins gets the rebound. And tied up, maybe. No, fights through it. Goes up and gets the 3rd on Allen.
Yeah, we like that. We like that.
It's kind of a strategic game right now,
Yeah.
getting these fouls on the right people. And that's part of the game sometimes, is getting those fouls on them. And Allen's gone for the extended period of time here in the 3rd quarter. It'll be Dean that checks in.
This puts Ohio Northern in some foul trouble here, and
Perkins misses the first,
got to capitalize on these, though.
100%. That first foul, by the way, was picked up on Kristen Lersman, so that's her first. Got kicked off the Wi-Fi. I was wondering why my stuff wasn't working over here, so we're good now. 43-32. Perkins makes the second. And now Ohio Northern goes to work. Akamine stays on the floor with 3. Allen does not. And now Dean dribbles into the hip of Weiland. It's loose, and Maddie wins the foot race, and a generous tie-up. Honestly, should have been a foul. She came over the top of Weiland there. You can fight for a loose ball, but you can't go over someone's back for it still. That probably should have been a foul.
To remain Capitals basketball, though, like that.
They win the arrow, win possession on the arrow. And now back to work, up by 11. Trying to bleed this game away at one end, but at the same time, you want to keep scoring. O'Connor will do just that from 3. It's good.
Splash.
All day. There's no jinx here.
This team is just hot from behind the arc. And they are fully in rhythm.
9 threes. That's 4 for O'Connor. And the Polar Bears are down by 14. And I don't have the number in front of me, but I've wagered to say they haven't been down by 14 very often this season. Serban gets the layup. Timeout called by Coach Hulsman, and they'll try to figure this thing out. They trail by 12. 7:04 to play. Third quarter action. We'll be right back. (46-34). 7:04 to play. Comets will come back up the floor. No full court pressure in this quarter so far yet, Jonathan. We'll be interesting to see if they go back to that at some point. Fouls called. That's 4 team fouls. That one's going to go on Akamine, right? Yeah, that's her 4th. No points, 6 minutes on the floor, 4 fouls.
Ben Simmons.
And a turnover. Say Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
46-34 remains the score. O'Connor around the screen. Next foul, by the way, Cap has free throws for the next 7 minutes. Pass inside, O'Connor. That's a clean block. Benjamin got a piece of it on the way up. And now Serban brings it across the floor. Serban, kick out to Benjamin. Back to Serban. Guarded by Perkins. Not the matchup you want. Kick out. 3 ball. Lersman no good. Good help from Brewer out of that mismatch. And now O'Connor gets the rebound. Murphy, couple of jab steps, drives in. Right past the defender, tied up.
It'll be ONU's ball anyway.
At least gets the arrow back. And that was impressive. She just ripped it right out of Murphy's hands.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play there from Lersman. So their big 3, if you want to call it that. Allen has 6 in foul trouble. Serban has 4. And Lersman has 5. So that's 15 for those 3. More on that point in a second with 15 seconds to shoot. Kick out Knippen. Goes into the corner, top of the key. Benjamin Serban for 3. No good again. She's 0 for 7 from 3. The Comets' big 3, Murphy has 3 on that 1 3-pointer she made. But O'Connor 17 and Perkins has 10.
It's the other key players who stepped up. Weiland with 11 points.
O'Connor also has the old 4x4, which is kind of a weird stat that you don't see all that often. But 4 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 17 points.
Foe.
You missed one. 46-34. Weiland drives off the rim, no good, and O'Connor with another rebound. Skip pass to Murphy. Missed off the front iron. Rebound by Serban. Serban now hands off. Dials. Never mind. Back to Serban. Serban works against Thigpen now. Kicks out to Benjamin. She drives baseline. Charge. Oh! They call a block.
Wow. I'd put her body on the line, but it's only her first foul.
I don't know. She got out of the restricted area. She was there. It wasn't like she came in late. Sometimes you see that. They pop in late there. Looked like a good one to me. Benjamin will get to shoot 2. It's probably the hardest call to make in basketball, that charge versus block. It's so 50-50. Benjamin misses the first. They say ball don't lie sometimes.
Yep.
She missed both.
And the ball didn't lie.
And Capital basketball. That should have been the outcome anyway.
We'll take it.
So O'Connor will walk it up the floor. You have Thigpen, Horsley, Perkins, and Weiland out there. You don't see this 5 out there too often, but 3 freshmen with O'Connor and Weiland. And I don't know what happened there. O'Connor just lost it out of bounds.
Which one she's going to want to have back.
ONU still trailing by 12. Capital has led for 19 minutes of this game. Ohio Northern has led for just 4 minutes. Serbin finally got one. 1 for 8. She's got 7 now. And I know she's missed a lot of shots, but she can light it up too.
Let's hope she doesn't warm up.
Perkins gets the pass. Long 2, no good. Rebound, Benjamin. It's a quick shot and a quick miss. Dials drives in on Weiland. Block party? She's going to pass out of it. Pass goes top of the key to Serbin again. Serbin definitely looking to create her own shot here. Now kicks out to Dials. Dials into a double team. Serbin's open, but she can't get rid of it. It's going to go to Capital on the takeaway.
That's a good job right there, causing a trap there. Getting the jump ball. And
Yeah, if she got out of that trap, Serbin had an open 3, so they needed to clamp down there, and they did. 4:08 to play. I'd like to see them use a little bit more clock here. I know they've been playing up-tempo, and that's been working. But there's 14 minutes left in this game, and you're protecting a 9-point lead. You got to do some math here and value the basketball in possession. And again, that's a quick miss. 10 seconds off the clock and a miss. It's almost extending the game at that point. This is Dials' left-handed layup, good. And ONU's on a little bit of a run here. 7-0 run. The Comets haven't scored in 4 minutes. We knew this was coming. We knew a run would come. Let's see how the Comets respond. It's going to be a timeout. Again, just a reminder during this timeout, this is the Play for K game. And today's game is all about stopping the clock against all cancers affecting women. As a result of her own 22-year battle with cancer, it was Olympic gold medal winning and Naismith Hall of Fame coach Kay Vow's vision to be a part of finding the answer in the fight against cancer, so you can join in the fight and give hope to a future without cancer by donating today. Visit kayow.com. That's KAYYOW.com today to donate. Play for K is the largest fundraising initiative of the Kay Vow Cancer Fund and its vision of its founder Kay Yow. And for Coach Yao, it was simple to unite people through sports in the fight against cancer. So again, join the fight. And we would love to see those numbers skyrocket there. They were able to award $7.88 million so far in the fight against cancer. So a great foundation, and happy to take a part of that one today. 46-39 as we resume play. 3:30 to play in the third quarter, and the Comets need a run stopper here. They haven't scored in 4 minutes. They're 1 for the last 10 from the field. That regression is coming, and it's coming fast. Perkins kicks out to Horsley. 6 to shoot. Thigpen now drives baseline. Ronnie, tough shot, blocked by Allen, who's back into the ball game. Allen's got 3 on the floor. Serbin's out there as well with 2. And this is Serbin with it. Driving past Brewer, and Brewer's called for the foul. Tough foul by Brewer. Tough finish by Serbin. And it's desperation mode right now for Ohio Northern, knowing that season. I mean, not the season's on the line, but you know they want to win this conference, and this is a game they got to win if they want to win the conference. They don't have much room for error.
Yeah, this will be a big win for Capital right here. So hopefully it doesn't feel like Ohio Northern is starting to swing in momentum as that lead is gone from 12. We're looking at a 6-point lead, and you pointed out the time. Maybe to point out fatigue is starting to creep in for Capital.
Maybe. I was saying they need to tempo this thing down, but now it's a 5-point game, and I think we need to tempo it back up. We might see that full court pressure again to start the fourth. Pass goes into O'Connor on the left wing. O'Connor working against Allen. It's a really good matchup for Capital. O'Connor, though, goes right under the basket with it. Didn't give herself much of an angle, and now the rebound collected by Dials. Ohio Northern's 12-1, top of the conference. If they lose this game, they fall back into a tie with B-Dub, and they still play them later this season. So if they want to win the conference, they can't really drop this game. They have a huge one-game lead right now they're trying to keep. Missed shot, rebound by Perkins.
Got 4 rebounds in this matchup.
They actually have, they've played B-Dub twice, so more on that in a second. As Brewer with a good layup and puts the Comets back into control a little bit here.
That was a good finish right there.
All right, got it right. I was looking at B-Dub's schedule. They play on the 8th, so that's coming up next week. They'll play on Wednesday against Ohio Northern in a game that could decide the conference, especially if Ohio Northern loses this game. It gives Baldwin Wallace what they need to not have to worry about a tiebreak situation. So there's a lot of Yellow Jackets right now rooting for the Comets. Ball out of bounds. Murphy and Duguid will check in for the Comets now. Allen comes back out, as does Warnicki. Again, another unit that probably hasn't seen much time together. Brewer from 3. Yes! The senior knocks it down and puts the Comets back up by 10.
We're shooting 2 from 3 from behind the arc. Everybody has just contributed in this matchup. 10 total threes as a team here in this game.
Dials thought about the 3. Pass to the top of the key. Knippen holding it up there. No good. And Capital somehow comes away with the ball into the basket there. Scramble between 3 players. Brewer brings it across. Serpin trying to kind of snap at the ball a little bit. Brewer has it again. Duguid swishes court. Extra pass. 3-ball. Murphy. It's good.
This team is back on track here.
11 threes. 4 players in double figures right now, and Murphy has 6. Timeout called by ONU. 54-41. 48 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll be right back. $50 seconds here. 2 for 1 for the ONU here. They need it. So you might see them take somewhat of a quick shot here out of the timeout. That was it, but they didn't take it. Now Serban has it. Trying to work against Brewer, being clamped down. They've lost the 2 for 1 opportunity, and they throw the ball away. Well, that was perfectly just not managed well at all there. Murphy now has it for the Comets. All 54 of their points have come from the starters, but it's been pretty balanced. 17, 11, 10, 10, and 6 for the 5 starters. Those are their point totals. Brewer. Horsley from 3. No.
She's still looking for her first shot in this game.
11 of 20 now from 3, though, for the Comets. You'll take that. Serban top of the key. Extra pass. Knippen for 3. No good. To counter that, Ohio Northern is 5 for 22 from 3. So that kind of tells you the story right there. So a 54-41 game, and 10 minutes left for the Comets to close things out and have a big win over top 25 team and change the narrative a little bit. We'll see what happens. 54-41 as we resume play here. 10 minutes left in the ball game, and Murphy's going to pick up her third foul very quickly. See how much foul trouble comes into this play here, Jonathan, as Capital has Perkins at 2, and Brewer also has 2. 3 for Murphy. On the other side, Akamine has 4. We don't really know what her presence on the floor means because she's only been on it for 6 minutes. But maybe that is part of the issue here. A starter for ONU has basically been out of this game the entire game. They get the offensive rebound, and now a foul called on Weiland, I believe.
Let's see who the call is on. That'll be on Weiland. So that's her first. But
yeah, her first.
Going back.
And Akamine has 4. Sorry, I'll finish the picture. Allen 3 and Serbin 2 on the other side. Go ahead.
Going back, Allen only missed both of those free throw attempts here, trying to crawl back in this lead, so it didn't even matter.
I think you put some on her, honestly, because she's going to keep doing that if you don't. An easy layup for Allen. Get Thigpen, get Duguid in there. Send her to the line. Make them earn it. Perkins drives into traffic, and a foul is called, and some groans from the crowd, and I'm actually with them there.
That'll be on Peyton Warnecke. Her first, so that doesn't mean it'll be on Allen.
It is going to be on Lersman. Actually, he signaled 33, but there's no 33 on the floor.
Oh.
So it has to be 32. So that would be Lersman's second. There is a pretty decent ONU contingent of fans here as well. That's who you heard. Murphy almost traveled. Gets it to Perkins. No good. And Weiland's called over the back.
And that'll be her second. She's good. She's good.
Again, she can reach over the 5'3" Dixon, but Dixon is entitled to some ground and some area above her head. And even though you're 8 inches taller, it doesn't give you the right to just invade that and go get the rebound. So good foul call. Dixon now from 3 on this end, and she knocks it down. Dixon has 8.
She is perfect in this whole matchup.
2 for 2 from the field, 3 for 3 from the line, 8 points, and she puts the Polar Bears back within 8. Murphy, fake pass, and now foul's called, and that's going to be underneath on Lersman, I believe.
Yep.
So now Lersman has 3.
That's 2 forwards.
2 of their top scorers, Allen and Lersman. We mentioned their big 3. What are they doing now here?
They're deliberating. Well, you know what? I wish that they had review actual cameras.
Yeah.
Maybe that's too much to ask at this level, but you know, shout
The
out.
NCAA makes enough money; they could do it.
Yeah, they do. We want to acknowledge.
I think
refs Rob Cowles, Luke Chambers, and
I'm not
Dave
sure.
Gross.
What are they talking about here? I would think that it might have something to do with Lersman picking up the foul. You mentioned the foul was on Warnecke because the official signaled 3-3, but
So
she wasn't on the
she's
floor.
got 4, so she's got 4 then.
No, she has 3. I think Ohio Northern is confused and might only have her at 2. And I think that might be the reason for the delay here, is they're trying to sort that out, but maybe not. What are they doing here? Timeout. The official is saying, hang on. He's talking to the coach. And now Warnecke is going to check in for Lersman because she has 3 fouls. And they had they definitely had Lersman at 2.
She's got 4.
Oh, they did put her at 4.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Now they called a timeout.
So there's a lot of confusion on Lersman's foul situation right now. That's what they're trying to figure this out. They came to the bench, the scorer's table. That guy has the book. He is the guy that counts the foul. So if he's got Lersman at 4, he's got Lersman at 4. And I think, again, some of the confusion was the foul before that was signaled on Lersman. They called it on Warnecke, who wasn't on the floor. And for what it's worth, our stats have Lersman at 3. So I don't know where the 4th foul came from either. But she's going to have 4. So Coach, on the other side, Coach Heelsman has to get her off the floor with 8:45 to play in the game, needs her for the stretch run. So she's out. Warnicki's in. And she has 4 fouls, apparently. Honestly don't know if it's 3 or 4 because our stats still say 3.
Yeah, it says,
But the scorer's table,
it says 3.
the scoreboard itself said 4, but that's not official in any stretch of the imagination. There's errors on that all the time. But the fact that they pulled her out of the game makes me think that she does in fact have 4. I guess we'll see if she picks up another foul. Meanwhile, the free throw is good after the miss on the first. Murphy makes the second. It's a 9-point game. And Ohio Northern came kind of fired up to the bench saying, we've got to go. And this is the second unit right now outside of Knippen and Allen. But this unit's been good. Dixon, that had to be blocked. Allen gets the miss and puts it in.
Did a good job on the defensive end, causing a tip, but Ohio Northern got their own rebound. Second chance opportunity.
7-point game. Serbin's going to come back in for ONU. Murphy, shoot it. Shoot the 3. She didn't. Passes off instead. O'Connor bounce pass, kicked out of bounds. And Serbin will come onto the floor for ONU. But we said if they lose this game, the conference is going to come down to ONU versus Baldwin Wallace on the 8th. But this is a team that has NCAA aspirations on the other side right now, ranked 14th in the country. You need games like this. They need a scare, and this is going to be very useful minutes for Coach Heelsman to use in the practice facility after today's game, win or lose. This is a unit that needed to be tested like this today, and Capital's giving them every bit of everything they have. O'Connor misses the shot here.
Well, I like the adjustment that Coach McPherson made earlier in the first half. In the second quarter, that full court press, keeping Ohio Northern on their toes here. And yeah, they were able to close it down to a 6-point game here, but offensively, Capital did a better job, and they're maintaining onto this lead here.
O'Connor, the run out to Murphy, stays in bounds. O'Connor read that play, came back to the play, and stole the basketball before it could get to Allen. They need to do more of that. Perkins gets the screen for O'Connor. Weiland for 3. It was halfway down, and Benjamin gets the rebound. Not a bad shot.
Not a bad one at all.
7 minutes to play. 7-point lead. Serbin comes around, let's call it 3 screens, drives in, foul, doesn't get the basket. And I think that's 3 on Maddie now it is. So Weiland's picked up 3. I don't know who's going to be left on the floor when this thing is done. Allen will come off, and replacing her now is Grace Dean. Serbin to the line. She has 9 points today, 3 of 11 shooting, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. Again, an off day for her, but she averages 14, and she might end up getting there.
It's a high volume shooter, just not many shots falling today.
We've seen the O'Connor games where she goes, 4 for 13, 4 for 18. Gets there at the end to that 15-point, but it was kind of ugly, and this is kind of what Serbin's done to this point. She got to her 10. And contrast that with Allen, who has 10 on 5 of 6 shooting. 55-50. It's a 5-point game. An 8-1 run for Ohio Northern in the last 4 minutes. Pass goes to Murphy. Murphy, pass inside now. O'Connor on the low block. Kicks out. Horsley for 3. Yes!
Flash. Finally gets her first basket of the game and gets it in the late fourth quarter when needed.
12 3-pointers made by the Comets now. 12 for 22. Horsley, the first player off the bench to register a point in this game. And she becomes the 5th player to knock down a triple as well. Baseline, pass, Dixon, extra pass, Serbin, that's going up. No good. And the rebound, what an effort by Brewer. Call a timeout. Timeout. No, they get the possession arrow. It's going to stay with the Comets.
So So the Comets, they are shooting well over their average. Normally, they make about 6 shots per game.
Threes.
Threes, yeah, threes.
I hope we make more than 6 shots. 6 threes per game.
And
12 in this one.
Yeah. We'll take a look to see when's the last time they had a game like this.
I believe early in the season, I know they got to double figures, but I'm not sure if they got to 12. Murphy, step back, kick out. O'Connor now, 8-point lead, 5:50 to play. Clock is your friend, need to use it. Horsley, back to back. Just heaved up.
They actually just broke the school record for 3-point field goals made in a game. The last time this happened was against Carnegie Mellon in 1998,
Let's go.
1999. Go ahead, ladies.
Record-breaking 3 there from Horsley. 61-50. What a finish by Servin, and she's fouled. That's going to go on Murphy. So that's Laney's 4th as well. This game is far from over, folks, but back-to-back threes from Jenna Horsley makes it a 61-52 game. Murphy's going to come out for Perkins here. Murphy a little bit confused, but you have 4 fouls. You got to come out. See if Servin can knock it down at the line. Servin leading the Polar Bears now with 14 threes. 14 points. Jeez. Not 14 threes. We're going for 14 threes, though, this possession. 61-53. O'Connor. Brewer has it. She's heating up. Oh, they wouldn't let her get the shot off that time. Perkins passed, just thrown it at the shins of Brewer. She's going for 14 off the front iron, no good. All right, let's calm back down. 5:03 to play. 8-point game. Dixon. Knippen. Some confusion there between the guards. I'd keep an eye on number 10 this sequence. Servin. Drives, there it is. Knippen, top of the key. She goes inside, throws it away. O'Connor has done that twice now. She has just read that pass and jumping it like a defensive back. Gets in the passing lane, gets the steal. O'Connor now working against Servin, and she's fouled. That's number 3 on Servin. Oh, they just set her second. So that might be the issue there. Maybe one of the fouls that was on Servin was actually on Lersman, and that leads to the confusion. That's why our stats are off by 1. That clears that up for us. So Servin only picks up her second foul, and Lersman definitely has 4 then. O'Connor has it at the top of the key, 8 to shoot. She drives into the paint, no foul called. Ball stays here. Was that blocked? Dixon comes out for Lersman.
I guess so.
It looked just like a missed shot. I don't know. Must have been knocked out on the way up. Cap has their starting 5 in there, except Horsley's in there for Murphy due to the foul trouble. O'Connor, tough leaner, gets it to go.
Nice little floater up there.
10-point lead for the Comets. 4:07 to play. Polar Bears upset very much on their minds right now. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Servin drives under the basket, kick out. Benjamin didn't cleanly catch it, throws it up anyway, and boy did they need that.
Benjamin from behind the arc. That's her second 3-pointer in the game, coming in late here.
63-56, 7-point lead, 3:40 to play. And the Comets will wisely use up some of the clock here. Horsley. Weiland, Brewer looking inside. Nothing's there. 10 to shoot. Perkins top of the key. Go right back to her, I say here. You got Allen on her. Brewer instead goes underneath. That's a good find, too.
Good pass down low from Brewer.
O'Connor with a tough finish on the weak side there. 21 for Bree O'Connor tonight. This afternoon, whatever you want to call it. Servin, 2-pointer. No good on the answer. Tapped out of bounds off of O'Connor.
Must be having some long days and nights.
Yeah. So Murphy's back in for Horsley now for the final 3 minutes. 3 players on the floor with 4 fouls now. Or only 2, actually. Akamine still hasn't come back on for Ohio Northern. Serban just has to throw it in and launches a arc to the top of the key where it was picked up. Now she shoots a 3 from the same spot and gets it to go. Senior leaders at the end of a game. She's been in the big moments, and it showed there. 14 now for Serban. Make that 17 for Serban. 65-59, 6-point game, 2:40 to play. Plenty of time still for the Polar Bears. Can't turn it over here, and a jump ball will be just that, a turnover.
It'll be the Ohio Northern ball, but hey, still holding on to a lead, 6 points. 2:36 left to go here in this fourth quarter. They're holding on. You just got to hold on strong here to the finish line.
2:30 to play. Polar Bears trying to get Serban involved as much as possible here. She kicks out to Knippen. Knippen drives in, and she's fouled. And is that on Laney or Weiland? They're going to get Weiland. So that's her 4th, but at least keeps Murphy on the floor.
There's 2 shots for number 10, JC Knippen.
She's not going nowhere. She is not going anywhere. This is Knippen's first attempt at the line in this matchup here on the season. 100%, but not anymore.
Second one is good. 5-point game. 2:19 to play. And you just all about maximizing the most time out of these possessions here, maybe even stealing an offensive rebound if you don't get the bucket. 5-point game, 2-possession game. A basket here makes it 3. Brewer, Murphy. Good patience to not let that one rip yet. Now gives it to Weiland. That's a better look. Missed everything. O'Connor tried to save it. It's a good look. Just didn't go as planned at all there.
Gotta hold now, defensive ground. Stand your ground. Do not let them heat up here.
This could be a 1-possession game if they make it here. 65-60 our score. Serban, top of the key, defended well, kicks it out. Benjamin walks it across. Knippen has Serban in her vision, goes that way. Big time shot. She got it, and she's fouled.
A 4-point play here.
Bryn Serban. What a shot. Sometimes you have to tip your cap. And an ugly game. 6 of 16. 3 of 12 from 3, but in the big moments, Serban has made big shots for ONU. It's a 2-point game, 1:34 to play, and a chance to cut it to 1 at the line. A big timeout here, and a big thing to talk over. And Jonathan, what's this conversation looking like in the huddle there?
You know,
How do you refocus here?
you just got to regroup your team here, understanding that they've maintained this lead, but they've been scoreless in the last 2 minutes here, and they control the clock and they control the game here. So hopefully Ohio Northern misses this. It's still a 2-point game possession, or it becomes a 1-point possession. Get the rebound.
I don't think she's missing here. I'll tell you that.
Rebound, inbound, whatever it looks, safely take the ball up court. You find a selective shot that's been working for you. You don't have to force up a 3.
Definitely need to refocus here. 1:34 to play. Possession arrow is in the favor of Capital, so that's a big thing to keep in mind here as well. Serban to the line. She's 5 of 5 at the line. I would be absolutely stunned if she misses this. And she has been the hot hand for the Polar Bears. And with the free throws good, she has 21 and O'Connor has 21. Very interesting to point that out as well. 65-64. What team wants it more here in the final 90? O'Connor on the right wing. Drives to the free throw line. Bounce pass out to Perkins. Now screening for Brewer. Brewer gives it to Weiland. Top of the key. Right wing Murphy. Murphy gets a screen. Nothing really developing here for the Comets. Good defense from Serban. Brewer. Weiland. 3. No good. Offensive rebound Murphy. They reset.
That was a good shot selection.
And they've got the lead too here, so they can eat some more clock up. Murphy. It's tipped. It's tipped into the backcourt. Weiland has it. 8 to work with here. Brewer gives it to O'Connor. O'Connor going to work. 3 ball. Oh, it's all no good. It looked like it was right on line. That hit the front. From our angle, that looked like nothing but net.
Didn't have to force that 3 here. 'Cause now you're
Yeah,
giving
3 on the shot clock. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to get a much better look than that after the ball was tapped into the backcourt. All right, let's see if ONU can take the lead. They haven't led since the first quarter. They've led the game at a score of 7-6 with 5:30 remaining. Here's a 3, and it's good. Kirsten Lursman, what a shot. Does she have 3? Does she have 4? We don't know, but she just knocked down the biggest shot of the game. 29.9 seconds remaining. Timeout, Comets. The Comets led by as much as 14 back in the third quarter, 46-32. And ONU has taken the lead, reclaiming it for the first time since the first quarter with 5:37 remaining. And now it's on to your playmakers to make a play. 30 seconds on the clock. And this is always an interesting question, Jonathan. You're down by 2. You can hold for the last shot, send this game to overtime, or even win it with a 3. Or you go and get your bucket. If you don't make it, you save yourself some time. How do you play this out if you're Capital?
And I'm Capital. I'm saving for the last shot here. You can sense a little fatigue here since the lead has fallen. Hold for the last shot, and it'll be a good one here. Selective. If they can get a quick one, go get a quick one and tie the game up.
Let's see how they play it out. If you make the shot too early, of course, you save time for ONU to win it. O'Connor going to work, and she looks like she's attacking early. Kicks out to Murphy. Murphy now gets fouled. Get in there. Oh, it's no good off the rim. Oh, that would have been huge.
Murphy on the free throw line. She's had 1 attempt earlier today on the season. 76% on the free throw line.
Tough spot for a sophomore, but this is one of the team's leaders, and
That's 42 out of 55 attempts here, so
can't afford to miss. Murphy on the first. No good.
all good. Shake it off here.
I assume here you make it anyway, and you don't need to miss on purpose with 23 seconds left. Too much time on the clock, and if you make this one and foul and they hit both of theirs, it's still just a 3-point game. Murphy misses number 2 though. Rebound to O'Connor. Timeout called by Capital.
That's a good job.
They had 1 left, thankfully.
That's it. That's the last one.
No Chris Webber moment here, and we have 2-point deficit, 19 seconds. So it's basically the same situation we were just in 10 seconds earlier. And same kind of question, but we've kind of already answered it. Capital already tried to make a quick basket, and it wasn't able to. And
they got to the free throw line.
they did.
You can't complain about it.
They almost got an and one situation.
They had an opportunity to tie the game up, so you either do it again, drive to the hole, draw a foul, or you hold for the last ball. The shot clock is off.
Oh, man, 67-65, 19 and a half seconds left in the ball game, and let's see if the Comets can come up with a shot here. They're going to slow things down. I don't know why. Some pointing of the officials, and here we go. Horsley gets it into O'Connor. Gets a screen from Perkins. O'Connor kick out Murphy. Murphy leaves it for Brewer now. Brewer, skip pass. Horsley has it. 8 to shoot. Don't panic. Goes to Brewer. And she's a clean block. O'Connor throws it up. No good off the rim. Dixon gets the rebound. She's fouled as time expires. And the Comets come up 2 points short. We'll see if they put time back on it, but it's not going to be enough to really matter here. If anything, there's maybe a half a tick left. I feel like they rushed it. They had 6 to shoot. Brewer kind of panicked and threw one up. O'Connor also did the same. They had more time. They're going to review with no technology to review it. They're just conferring with the other scorer. They're calling a foul, and they are going to put, a significant amount of time on the clock. 1.8 seconds.
Wow.
That feels like a lot of time.
That is a lot of time, so the game is not over.
And
Just
Dixon at
yet.
the line. She hasn't missed a free throw all day,
Yeah.
as you said, Jonathan, earlier.
Well, we'll see if pressure hits right now. Pressure makes diamonds. Capital has no timeouts here, so even if it's a miss, it's going to be a quick throw up. And she gets the first one here. You got to pray for a miss here.
And then you got to heave. You got one dribble and you shoot. That's all it is, off the rim. Dixon makes it.
And that's a dagger.
Clutch finish. Brewer throws it. Not even close. Game over. 69-65. The Polar Bears finish off the comeback. Truly heartbreaking loss for Capital. They played probably one of their best games of the season here, and they come up just a few points short.
You have a team record performance and the most three-pointers scored here. However, after a phenomenal second quarter, they outscored Ohio Northern 25-17 in the second quarter, but they gave up big in the fourth quarter, struggling to put up points and got outscored 28-11 in the fourth quarter, and it was just not their second half, and that's why they tried against the best, and that is why Ohio Northern is the best team in the conference.
They gave him a good run, and Coach Hulsman, again, this is a game I think he's going to draw back to not only OAC tournament time, but NCAA tournament time. A game where they were punched in the mouth, down by 14 at points, down late in the ball game. And I think we have to credit Bryn Serbin. Bryn Serbin made some big-time shots down the stretch after not having it for most of the game. She made some big shots, including the and one 4-point play, and really swung this game for ONU. And Lursman knocking down the game-winning three-pointer. They just had more shots at the end of the game than Capital did. Couldn't find those points at the end. And for the Comets, a growing, you hate to say it, but man, this is such an important game to grow from as a program. Not even for this season, Jonathan, but moving forward. You have a lot of young players on the floor at the end of this game. Murphy's a sophomore, Perkins a freshman, Weiland's a sophomore, O'Connor's a sophomore. This is a young core. And a game like this is going to leave such a nasty taste in your mouth for next time they play them. And maybe that'll be in the tournament. Maybe it'll be next year. But this is such an important moment to move forward with this team, both this year and next year and on with this program. Such a tough loss, and you have a top 15 opponent on the ropes here at home.
That one just hurts just knowing, because that's one that they're supposed to have. When you have a lead like that the entire game, up by double digits, and you apply pressure the entire game, and somehow second half, both teams struggled in that third quarter, both putting up 12 points, but in the fourth quarter, you get outscored by 17 points, 28-11 in that fourth quarter right there, and you blow a lead here, and now you got to go back to the drawing table again, and with the remaining schedule of what they have in Heidelberg, Mount Union, Marietta, and finishing here with Baldwin Wallace, you got another opportunity here. Come back home against Heidelberg next week, and looking at the rest of the schedule, it's not easy, knowing that they have to face Marietta, a team that they did beat. However, that both teams had a slump.
That was
in
an ugly
matchup.
game. Yep.
And knowing that you have to go against Mount Union, and they beat you already here in overtime, and then you got to come back and finish against another top 4 team, Baldwin Wallace, and this one was a close one that hurts more because they knew they should have had it at the finish line.
And it's a mess right now in the standings, 5 through 7 in terms of the seeding. They all have 6 wins. John Carroll and Heidelberg's game got postponed. No word on if they're making that up right now, but that's 3 teams with 6 wins, 5 through 7, and that's a much different seed if you're 5 or 7 right now. So for the Comets, it's all about just clicking up as many wins as we can here at the end of the year. And I hate to be Heidelberg on Wednesday because I feel like they're going to get a game here from the Comets making that statement again. If they play like they did tonight against a team like Heidelberg, it's going to be over real fast.
I hope so, but you never want to count anybody out here. So
yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting last few weeks here for the Comets, and trying to, at least if there's anything from this game, they proved that they can play with the best in this conference. And will be all about consistency if they can do that down the stretch in tournament time a few weeks from now. And we'll see how far if Capital can make a run. Tough loss here tonight, or this afternoon. They lose 69-65. Bree O'Connor and Bryn Serbin put on that show that we were expecting. And what a game. It's just an interesting game tonight. And unfortunately, Cap just a few points short. So we'll see you on Wednesday. It's a 7 o'clock start against Heidelberg. 6:50 time start for the broadcast of that game as well. So we'll catch you on the air if you're unable to make it to Bexley for the ball game. And then they're on the road for a couple before Baldwin Wallace closes things out on the 18th. So 2 more games for you on the air. We hope you join us for those. And we'll see you Wednesday here from the Capitol Center. For Jonathan Brown, Jude Bloomfield, we'll catch you next time. Thank you.